When people think of Oregon, they usually think of trees, cattle, and wide open spaces. In this production, we are going to portray Oregon in a new light, the light of high technology.
Hello, welcome to Umatilla County. We've been looking at high technology in Eastern Oregon through agriculture.
I'm an agricultural entomologist, and I specifically deal with the concept of how we control insects that are deleterious to man. Now, that means I deal with insects that are affecting the crops in a negative fashion, that are reducing yields. Most people don't realize it, but the greatest competition for food source in the world isn't other animals, it's insects. Insects actually consume more food products than anything, including mankind. So it's a very necessary thing to have people who deal specifically with how do we graze a crop without having a tremendous amount of damage.
How has high technology changed your agricultural research?
I started hearing about genetic engineering, which is high-tech in my area, about 12 or 15 years ago. In this particular case, in this field, we're testing the hypothesis that we can use genetically engineered resistance to Colorado potato beetle as effectively as we can use insecticides.
IRZ Consulting is a engineering consulting company, and it involves in agriculture and a high technology end of agriculture. We involve in many different areas. We do engineering design for different irrigation and agricultural projects. We help and work together hand in hand with the farmers and growers throughout the Northwest, help them to manage their water resources. As you know, water is a very important resource that we have, and we work with them on manage it correctly to save water. Energy conservation is also part of our work. We work to reduce their energy use, and consequently we both save electricity and also reduce the cost to the farmers. We are also been working in the area of remote sensing, mainly through use of satellite and also aerial imaging. We can detect diseases, for example, before a couple of weeks before it's visible to human eye. We can tell the farmers that there is a problem in this field and you need to pay attention, or certain area of the field has lower nutrient level, so you need to add more nutrients so you get the best profits. So our work is to help the growers, to help farmers to be more efficient and make their business more profitable.
I'd like to ask you your name and position and what do you do around here?
Name is Luke Maynard. Work for Eastern Oregon Farms. We range from growing alfalfa, corn, potatoes, and just grow products for the customers.
We saw on the satellite map those little circles, and you could see some outside. Could you tell us in brief what exactly do they do?
That's how we irrigate. All of our circles are 1,320 feet long, and they're approximately 128 acres in each circle. And they're all ran by this here.
My name is Eugene Kuo. I'm the Vice President of AgriCheck. I'm also serve as Laboratory Director.
What exactly do you do here at AgriCheck?
Well, AgriCheck is specialized in testing the farmer's field soil and plant materials. In addition to soil and plant material, we also analyze irrigation water and wastewater from the potato processing plant, and all kinds of hay samples from the forage in the production area.
How does high technology help you here at AgriCheck?
High technology really help the farmer to identify the problem of their fields by not to have a guy drive the truck around and go to each field. A person could use a satellite picture or even use an infrared picture to scan the field and identify the most potentially serious area, so they can do a very fast response to the problem associated with the field.
Oregon's southwest coastal communities surrounding Coos Bay have begun to apply more and more technology in their workplaces. Located on the beautiful Oregon coast, employers and employees are discovering new and creative ways to learn thanks to recent technological developments.
What is Workforce 2000? What is it that you do? What's the program about?
Okay, Workforce 2000 is a program that was set up with Oregon Economic Development Program. It is lottery funded, with the funds being directed to community colleges. We're one of 4 sites in the state. Our purpose is to work with the unemployed and underemployed folks in our community, bringing up basic skill levels. Basically, the Plato system is an interactive learning network system whereby an individual can come in and begin a self-paced program at whatever level of learning they happen to be in whatever subject matter they want to learn in.
Okay, I'm Lieutenant J.G. Tim Fitzpatrick. I'm the Flight Safety Officer at Coast Guard Air Station North Bend and also an aircraft commander. With the H-65, primarily what we do on the southern Oregon coast is search and rescue with the aircraft. And we've had the aircraft now for about 3 years. Prior to that, we had the H-52, and that had been around since about 1963. And it had been down here since 1975. And the big difference in the 2 aircraft is, one, this is about almost twice as fast, and which makes a big difference here on the Oregon coast because of the temperature of the water. And the other advantages in the technology that we have is, remember the old helicopter, we had to hand fly it. This one, it'll fly itself. And the other thing that we can do, we've got a little TV screen in there, and we can set up our own search patterns on there. It used to be before you had to manually fly the search patterns, and there was a lot of guessing involved, so you may not have flown them extremely accurately that you would like, which means you may have missed something. On this aircraft, you can program in the search patterns that you want to do. You not only are going to fly those things very accurately, but George is going to show you a TV picture of what search pattern you're doing, exactly where you are on the search pattern and what it looks like. So it makes it a whole lot easier. Plus George is going to fly it, so that frees up more people to look outside. And of course, with that, George is going to do whatever you tell him to do. You tell him to do something stupid, he's going to do it. George does not know the limitations of the aircraft. They have not been able to figure out a way to put that in the computer.
Okay, my name is Linda Shapiro, and I'm the director of OIMB and a professor of biology and the principal investigator on this project. I work with phytoplankton, marine phytoplankton, and do you know what phytoplankton are? Should I start from there? Phytoplankton are plants, yeah. They're the plants of the ocean, and they're unicellular plants. The plants, once you get away from right along the edge of the coast, all the plants in the ocean are unicellular. That's because they kind of have to float around in order to stay up in the zone where it's light. And these plants then, since they're the only plants in the ocean, are the base of the food chain in the ocean. That's where photosynthesis happens and where the storing of energy starts, so that all of the higher organisms of the ocean get their energy from phytoplankton. Photosynthesis is the transfer of carbon dioxide into organic carbon. And so they're very important in terms of regulating carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and probably play a key role in, a key regulatory role in the abundance of the greenhouse gas carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So they may be important in regulating global climate. That's one of the things that we're interested in finding out.
Portland, the city of roses and the home of the Blazers. Amidst the hustle and bustle of everyday city life, technology may not always be obvious, but looking closer, the use of new technology exists in virtually every corner of Oregon's largest city.
Forensic science, the science that we use in a crime laboratory, is generally the analysis of physical evidence that might be at a crime scene, collected off of clothing or articles, weapons, that could be analyzed at the scene or more commonly at the laboratory using chemistry, physics, mathematics, biology, botany, a whole wealth of disciplines to examine that evidence and to make some association and determination of some kind of evidentiary value. Then once that's done, we can take that to a courtroom or aid in investigators during their investigation, and that is basically what the forensic science is. However, with the use of computers and its aid in scanning detailed information, everything from fingerprints to drug libraries to paint standards, to the computer's use in the DNA fingerprinting to look at a source of, say, groups of offenders that we have their DNA on file and be able to, in a computer, search for them rather than the officer search for them on the street. I think that's going to not only impact the courts and our ability to give very strong evidence, but also is going to affect the detective work.
Well, we just put in a digital direct-to-hard disk recording system.
It puts a physical representation of the entire sound waveform, which is this, in this case, is a song, up on the screen here, and I can go in and select areas and edit, redraw waveforms, zoom in on stuff, all kinds of stuff. I can pick a section and play it back. I can grab certain areas and save those areas as regions. See, it says this is region 2. Then I'll grab something else. This is not going to make any sense at all when I play it back, but you'll get an idea of what I'm talking about. So this is going to be region 3. Okay, and then we go into what they call a playlist, which allows you to put your captured regions in any kind of order. So if you're doing like a dance mix or something like that, and you want some rapid fire edits, you can do that. I've kind of set some stuff up here. I don't know, it's probably not going to make any sense musically, but sometimes that's the most fun. You just grab the regions and can pull them down into the playlist in any order that you want, and then hit play. See, I mean, that's not musical, but if you took the time, hey. I like it. I like the front of it. The front of it, I was ready to rock.
The downside of all this is it's making a lot of people sound the same, and that kind of bothers me personally, but it also, doesn't have to be used that way.
It's up to the artist to make something special happen with it,
Salem, Oregon's capital, is located in the mid-Willamette Valley. Innovative advancements in technology are becoming a very useful tool in Salem's industries.
My name is Jim Wetstein. I'm the manager, Coleman Ranch. My job is to work for the Colemans, who have a large ranch operation here, and I run the dairy end of it for them. As far as the technology in our feeding, we have what we call computer feeders, whereby a cow wears a transponding tag around her neck, and she's allowed to go to a magnetic feeder, and it gives a specified amount of feed to her. way it's set up is the more milk she gives, the more she's allowed on the computer feeder. We also feed a TMR, which is a total mixed ration, in the manger, consisting of corn silage, hay, rolled grains, and a soybean mineral supplement. It's fed up to a certain level in the manger, and then the computer feeders take over for the higher producing cows from there.
This is one of the transponder tags that the cows wear around their neck. It has a little code number on it, which I punch into the computer, and then when it's put against the electromagnet at the feeder, it turns on the motor and augers out the allotment that she's allowed.
And one nice thing about it is you can watch on a daily basis how much the cows consume, because it's recorded each day in the computer.
Skiing, hiking, rafting. Bend is a recreational paradise, and in the middle of it all is Bend Research, a company that holds numerous patents for its membrane technology-based research.
Well, our company works in 3 different areas. One of the areas is called industrial separations, and there what we try to do is work in pollution control, making clean water and cleaning up a lot of waste. The other area we work in is something called controlled release, and that's where we use our membrane technology in order to improve ways in which you can deliver drugs for both animals and human health. And then the third area is a little different of an area, and that is we're finding better ways of making pharmaceuticals.
My name is David Newbold, and I'm a senior engineer at Bend Research.
What are you currently working on?
I'm working on the separations division of separations that involve membranes. We do a lot of work for NASA, and currently I'm working on a number of NASA contracts having to do with atmospheric control of oxygen and nitrogen and water vapor for their future long-range missions for a lunar base or for Mars.
Dr. Van Eikeren mentioned using exhaust for potable water. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, the Army contracted with us a number of years ago for a system for recovering drinking water or producing drinking water in arid conditions.
The basis of the project is that whenever you burn a pound of fuel, you create a pound of water. It seemed like it would be advantageous if you could recover that water at the end of the exhaust pipe. Of course, most people wouldn't think of drinking water out of the end of an exhaust pipe, so you need some way of purifying it. And what our company has developed is a membrane that allows the water to go through. It's a thin film. Water goes through, but all the air and the noxious fumes stay behind. And then once you concentrate that water and you condense it, then you have at the end potable water.
I chose Strat Academy cause I'm no fool. Description looked mellow and mighty cool. I came to the place from 10 to 2 to learn at Greg Black's music school. He taught my DJ how to sing and mix with all of his dope things. This isn't the only class you can take. I'm telling you, man, that's no mistake. Which ones are you gonna take? Now I got something to say about myself. Yo, I'm here to rock the house, and if you don't like it, you better go home. Cause when I'm on the mic, I'm like Al Capone. Saturday Academy is your best bet. If you don't take it, you'll be in check. Saturday Academy, it's involved. It's all about knowledge. That's all. I chose Saturday Academy cause I'm no fool. The description looked mellow and mighty cool. I came to the place from 10 to 2 to learn at Greg Black's music school. He taught my DJ how to sing and mix with all of his dope things. This isn't the only class you can take. Yo, I'm telling you, man, that's no mistake. Which ones are you gonna take? No, I got something to say about myself. Yo, I'm here to rock the house, and if you don't like it, you better go home. Cause when I'm on the mic, I'm like Al Capone. Saturday Academy is your best bet. If you don't take it, you'll be in check. Saturday Academy, it's involved. It's all about knowledge. Yo, that's all.